Everybody's making fun of me because I start every sentence with so. So, it's the 4th day of filming. We are in the new location, at the new location.
And we have a slight hangover because we were hanging out after the shooting yesterday.
Like every other day, it's nothing new. But yeah, we are at the home of sports. It's a huge sports arena. And we can show you around. Let's go.
Cool.
Idemo malo proći. Snimaj sve u komadu.
Yeah.
The cameras are setting up. This is Bobby. He's setting up the video village and transferring the footage from the cards to the hard drives. This is the hallway where we will film.
And now comes the best part.
And now the best part.
There's no place in the city with more urinals than this.
Yes. And today when we came here, I started feeling very good. This location just gives me such good vibes. It just feels like home.
After 3 days of shooting in the studio, this is kind of like more exciting, being on the field and yeah.
We have to decide where to put the lights. Because as you can see, this whole room is very evenly lit right now, which is not cool.
No, we don't want a flat atmosphere, we want to create pools of light. So you always have to have the play of light and shadow, light and shadow. And that's how you accomplish that. Anyways.
I was just saying, like, this is the only day during the whole filming that we have everybody on set, all the actors.
Oh, really? Cool.
Tomorrow, Timothy is gone, so yeah. So we definitely have to do a group photo. Somebody has to remember that. The actors started arriving to the location and they went to the upper floor to get their costumes and makeup.
In costume department it's a bit easier because all of the actors already had that clothes on, and we have numbers and we know in which scenes they had it, so we just need to put them in the same clothes as they had. So that's good. Goodbye, I need to work.
Whoa.
She's very strict.
Visitors aren't allowed in this area. I work here, okay? Yeah, I've never seen you before.
Today we start with a short scene between Ellen and Kent, or their characters, George and Lavatory Supervisor.
You just wait, silent, put everything down and then say visitors are allowed. We will see how it plays better.
As always, the guys discussed the scene with Dino. Dino always likes to talk with actors about their motivation and other related things.
But of course, when you recognize that he's just kind of like the toilet, you change your logic, right?
Got it, yeah. Action!
The scene involves George snooping around the toilet in the NASA building for undisclosed plot reasons.
Hey, you!
And then the lavatory supervisor notices him and starts interrogating him.
Visitors are not allowed in this area.
The point of this scene is to introduce the character of the lavatory supervisor, and as always to show that absolutely everyone is looking down on poor George, even this guy.
Okay, cut. That's it for this position. Perfect.
This hallway appears a few times throughout the film, so if we do a camera setup, we will film a piece of every scene that can use this setup. And since this wide angle was already prepared, we filmed a piece of another scene with Neil Armstrong walking through the hallway. That way we do need to jump from scene to scene throughout the day, but it saves a ton of time on camera setups. I hope this made sense.
Cut.
Then the rest of the actors arrived and went upstairs to get dressed, as they will be needed in about an hour. I'm just trying to show you how the scheduling works and how it all needs to be meticulously planned in advance. We filmed the wide angle of this scene, and now we have to get all the coverage that we need, so now we are a little bit more narrow, and then we will do very narrow close-ups after that.
And dramatically, it's a very important scene because these two guys will be at the end of the movie, and the lavatory supervisor will have a bigger meaning in the whole picture.
Visitors are not allowed in this area. Well, I work here. Yeah, well, I've never seen you before, and I would have.
Cut. Much better. Okay, love it. Now it works.
Yeah.
We got Fuck you, guys.
When we had done enough takes of Ellen and Kent, we stayed in the same medium shot and filmed Neil Armstrong again.
Perfect.
Action.
And then even a piece of the third scene with the president and all of his entourage.
Ej, dečki, kad idete više dostojanstvenije, onako čvršće ruke, baš ono pulsa onako uspraviti, hoćete da podasmo.
Action.
We did a take after take, and Dino always wanted to fix something.
Daj mi samo hoću da na Đorđu jaču ekspresiju.
Ali samo jedna stvar, ali on samo njega pogleda i mi već praktički ćemo morati rezati, kužiš?
Ali ga možda jače pogleda, ta prva ekspresija.
5 put ga gledam, fakat. But still, Dino had his idea and we needed to do another take.
You can maybe... Are you wobbling on top? Yeah, you're kind of like struggling.
I'm always extremely scared about running late and losing time, and Dino always wants to do another take, and another take, and another take. And I'm like, no, we have enough, Dino! So it's a nightmare. But I will admit, later when we are in the editing room, these extra takes sometimes save the scene. So you gotta fight for every take you can, I guess.
Cut! Perfect! One. Okay.
This is Mihoc, you've probably seen him before in our videos. He's our sound guy, and he's constantly complaining.
No, I'm just telling you that you're doing things wrong. You're doing 2 cameras with 1 sound guy on set.
Yeah.
Please write in the comments how dumb that is.
And who will write in the comments? Only sound guys. Nobody else will care. Nobody will care. By the way, Mihoci needs to tape the lavaliers on the actors throughout the whole day, which are the tiny microphones hidden somewhere in their clothes. And every time he was left with a piece of tape, he stuck it on my back.
I want to see the... Okay, right. You don't need...
And slowly we worked our way through the camera angles, and it was time for Ellen's and Kent's close-ups.
Higher energy, okay?
Okay, and action.
Visitors are not allowed in this area. Well, I work here.
By the way, why did we start with a wide angle and now, a few hours later, we're doing close-ups and not vice versa, for example? Well, because in the morning the sunlight was great and it illuminated the whole hallway naturally, you know, with these rays of light. And now, a few hours later, the sun is gone. But it's easy to recreate the lighting just for close-ups. It's of course something you need to think about in advance and check where the sun rises in relation to the building, which we of course did. Some people were talking somewhere in the building and we were having problems with the sound, and we did a lot of repetitions because of that, and we lost an hour of time. And now we are 1 hour late, which is scary. Finally, we fought our way towards the other end of the hallway, and we filmed a couple more shots of the president walking, as well as Neil Armstrong again. We then quickly moved to the upper floor to film the extra shot of everybody entering the NASA building. This is an epic shot. Everybody is walking towards the camera and their reflections are in the floor, and it's looking very nicely from that point.
Action.
Then it was lunchtime. Okay, lunch is over. Welcome to our office. The camera is inside the toilet, filming towards the windows. But the interesting thing is that by now, the sun was nowhere near the windows. However, we needed them to be illuminated. So here's what the guys did. They had this giant mirror, and they were catching the sun from the street and reflecting it all the way inside our hallway. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? Now Neil Armstrong entered the toilet a few times. And then all the president's men entered too.
Action.
It's a funny shot because a lot of the people are coming in the toilet right now, and we all have to squeeze inside this small room, so it's funny.
Cool. And we're also having pressure regarding the schedule because tomorrow we're moving to another city. So we have to finish till 8. And it's only 4 hours left and we have to do like 8 shots. That's kind of like a shot per half an hour. And we have a lot of acting to do, a lot of light setup, and it's gonna be a crazy 4 hours, I guess.
Oh, and by the way, we did remember to take the group photo.
Time to put the splash guard, urinal splash guard, into the urinal.
Do you remember the test shot Dino filmed with his phone during the location scouting? Well, now we were about to film it for real with Neil Armstrong. The grip department set up a dolly, and Neil did the walk we envisioned all those months ago. We are now coming to the scenes that are very revealing in terms of the story, and there's no way to show how we filmed them without giving away some parts of the film. But we decided to show them anyway because, you know, they are pretty funny. But if you're the type of person who doesn't like spoilers, I suggest you end the video here. But if you're still here, we are now filming the president giving peeing orders to all the men in a strict military fashion.
Ready? Aim! Fire! Aim! Fire!
And a longer fire.
Fire! A longer fire. Fire!
Now we're shooting one of my favorite shots. It's the pissing battalion. We see Nixon's bodyguards lined up in front of the urinals, and we see flies unzipping. A symphony of flies, says the script.
And then, all that was left for the day was the money shot.
So there is one shot, the wide shot of the whole space with all the urinals, and it's gonna be beautiful. And we envisioned it, you know, almost 5 months ago, and we drew it 4 months ago, and we think about it, you know, for a lot of time. And now is the moment that we need to shoot it with all the actors, everything. And we only have 20 minutes because we're running late, and we're filming it at the end of the day. It's complete panic. We're rushing, and the most epic shot has to be done in 20 minutes, and that's how it is, you know. But it's gonna turn out great. It's always like that.
And action.
First we shot everybody entering the room and assuming their positions on the urinals. And here's the biggest spoiler. When they start peeing, something happens and all hell breaks loose.
Prvo se borite, malo kod svog pisuara, i onda krenete svijetli u drugi.
21/11, prvi, samo kamera. And action. Ready? Aim! Fire!
It's interesting for me to watch these videos now, you know, with some time distance, because I can see that both Dino and me immediately felt this was too static, you know, we didn't like it.
Ovi su malo... Vi s ove strane počnete trčati tamo, a vi s ove strane počnete pred njih, da se malo stalno vidite sim tamo.
Jel ima neki dobrovoljac kao da padne ovak? Može, okej.
Zoran će pas.
Može?
21/11, drugi, samo kamera. And action. Ready? Aim! Fire!
And now this take is much more dynamic, right? And it just works so much better.
Do you know what? I've had a real blast with this lot. I've had a real great time. It's been a great set. I've met some wonderful people. I've really enjoyed it, and I think this is going to be a great little film, and it's going to go places. I thank you for casting me.
When you say going places, you mean places like toilets?
Down the toilet.
Well, this is better than here. Think of all those years we all went to drama school and we end up here in a toilet.
In the pisser.
In the pisser. But this has been a great experience, and I've met some wonderful people, and I want to meet you all again, and I shall certainly come back to Croatia.
Thank you, Mr. President. It was an honor.
And that marked the end of the filming day. It was a long day, much longer and harder than it seems in this 15-minute video.
I think we done a decent job and we covered pretty much everything what we wanted to shoot, but it kind of feels tiresome. It doesn't feel like perfect because, for instance, Timothy Nixon, the actor who plays President Nixon, is leaving now. He's going back to England, but we didn't even have time, you know, to have a chat or something with him. He's just gone, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we weren't even here in the moment. We couldn't enjoy the, you know, the atmosphere and like bit enjoy also the parts other than behind the camera. And that's obviously life of a filmmaker.
Let's just go home.
What a downer.